Hi everyone, this is Yokonia and I'll explain on the student record management system this time around in relation to the director of that learning institution. In this case, I'll log in as the director. I created a user for the director and I'll log in as the director and just to walk you through on the features that are inside the account for the director. So this is what you'll be able to see when you log in as director. You're going to have the examinations tab, student registration, student finance, admissions, my account. So if you notice these 5 tabs, excuse me, if you notice these 5 tabs on our bar here actually touch on almost all the different departments that the institution has. So it should touch on examinations, so the director will be able to have a look on the examinations. We'll also have a look on how registration is doing. As director, you'll also be able to look at the finance aspect. The admissions as well will be looked at. So the director has the overview of the entire departments. Excuse me. So I'll walk you through these modules and of course import CA. This is a feature that allows the HODs to upload results or to import results, CA results for students onto the system. And I'll come in later video tutorials and explain on how that is done. But basically the import CA just allows you import results for a particular course that I mark, if I was HOD, that is. So I'll choose that subject, it falls in this school, and this subject I'll have to choose on my local machine where the file is that contains the results, the CA results in relation to that. So basically that file, it comes in a format called class list. I'll touch a bit. So in the class list, this is where you download all the students who are taking that particular course that the HOD is in charge of. So in my case, I would have to download the class list first and then fill in the class list with the results. As you can see, it downloads a file called class register. Now this class register contains the list of students who are taking this particular course that I teach, and it's easy for me to enter their results against their names and computer numbers. So it's that file that you come and locate on this, and you choose that file and you say import, then the system will get the results and correspond them to the students onto the system. But I'm gonna come back in later videos and explain on how the importation is done. But this is what the import CA does, and it's the same for import exams as well. Same process, but in this case you just have to be careful on these two. You have to know exactly where you are. If you're importing the CA, you have to make sure you're in that selection. If you're importing the exams, you have to make sure you're in that selection. Then course marking, which is the same as subject marking. This one just shows you the changes that have been made for a particular course, and I must emphasize that this one just shows you on how how the final grades of the students are in relation to this course, only to this course. It won't show for the other courses. It's in relation to this course. So the course marking, what it does is that it gets the CA, it gets the exam results and combines the two and eventually gives a grade on how students fared in that particular course. So this is a good feature. If you've successfully done your import CA, import exam, you need to come to course marking so that you see those changes if indeed they are in effect. So as you can see, exam and CA, the two are added up to give the final grades for the students. So you're gonna use this feature very much to verify how the process of importing has been. Then the subject marking. This one shows all the courses that a student is taking. If it's primary shares diploma, We know that there are 6 courses in primary HS diploma. So if that was the case, unfortunately this module is not working. But if it was, in essence what it means is that it will show that student the details of that student and all the courses that they're taking, and of course their grades, how they're fared in those courses. So it gives the director to see all the courses or all the marks for a student for a particular program. So you come to student marking, you enter the computer number of that student, and you select the session, and the system will show you all the courses about that student that they're taking in relation, as well as in relation to their grades and how they're fared. So the actually confusion between the two. In course marking, it's a course listing all the students in that course. So it's one course listing many students taking that course. But when you come to subject marking, it's one student showing all the subjects that that student is taking. So it's very, very important that you differentiate the two, and you know how the two work. Then print transcript. Of course, here as the director, you're able to print a transcript for a particular student. Unfortunately, this module is not working. But on the live system, it does. As you can see, I'm running this on my local machine, so I may have a few limitations. But the director will be able to print the transcript for a particular student who may have problem with printing it from their own student account. So this one is like overrides that aspect. Then release results, as well as the director has the power to release results for a particular student. Of course, there are a lot of issues that happen. Sometimes the student may not have paid on time, and maybe they owe some balance, or something reasonable happened that was really beyond their control. As an institution, you can have approval to release results for that particular student, regardless of how they have not done or what they have done. So this one allows the director to force the system to release results for a particular student. Then generate end comment. What this one does is that it simply generates comments to be appended to the different results or grading schemes that you have. So if a student does or graduate with a distinction, and it will be cumbersome for the director to write for each student you give a comment, for each student you give a comment. What the system does is actually generates the end comments for you beforehand. So you need to choose that program, you choose the session, then you say generate end comment. The system is going to generate comments. So you can see end comment has been generated. So what this means is that all the different grading schemes, if a student graduates with a merit, if they graduate with a credit, if those comments are actually generated through this command, so that when they begin to print confirmation slips, when they print transcripts and the like, those comments will be added on those documents. Then of course, exam reports allows the director to see a few things on how they're fared in the examinations department and some sort. So I'll come to student registration. In student registration, basically, as director, I'll be able to see how the registration is going. This is a registration module that just looks at the biodata for a student. So if you got a computer number for a student, you can put it there. You can get details about that student. You can see their biodata, everything about that student. Of course, this is part of the online registration form that students will be allowed to fill in their account. They will have the privilege to even upload their profile picture. So this one basically just gives all the information about a student, and you'll see as you go on these other tabs, it will further give more details, what they're studying, their intake session. When you come to courses, to be able to show you even the courses that they're taking, program structure. You'll be able to tell you that these people only sit for one exam in year 2, since it's a primary teacher's diploma. So it gives the director to have, a broader view on a student who is enrolled at the institution. Student status, you just want to see the status of the student. Are they registered? Are they understood? And the like. So this is how the student status module looks like. Of course, as director, you can change the status of a student. Some students may maybe withdraw for some reasons. Others may have completed, but the system may still show them as if they're active. Not registered, withdraw without permission. So as director, you can, if they're deceased, if they're on exclude, so as director, you can choose for this particular student, and you submit. Then the status will change to say, okay, this student has been excluded. So this gives the director also to see the registration aspect. The class list I've already explained. This one contains a list of students who are taking a particular course that an HOD is marking, and when you download it, it has a file called the class register that contains all the list of students who are taking this particular course. And I'll come in later videos to explain on how that is done. Then semester registration, of course, is just to do with registering students for a particular semester. It's unfortunate that this module also is not working. I could have demonstrated and showed to you. Custom reports, of course, just you're able to generate reports either for Senate or for management or for departments as well. So you can, as director, look at how the reports are done and generate for reference. Student finance, of course, as director, you'll be able to see the dashboard, which has, I think, the general picture of how the institution is doing financial-wise. So you have of course, the current sessions, how much the transactions have gone. So you'll be able to see in terms of from a daily basis, weekly, all the way up to a semester basis. You'll be able to see how many invoices have been issued, or how much the invoices in terms of financial aspects have been done. You'll be able to see even the registration, how it's going, how many students have registered for courses and the like. You can even print this dashboard, for presentation and some sort. So this is the dashboard. Basically, just give you a general picture. Account statement, you'll be able to see the financial history of a student and to see how a student stands with the institution financial-wise. Reports, it also allows you to generate reports in relation to finance or accounts department. So as director, you also have a picture or a view on how the finance department is doing. In admissions, here list applicant. This module is used when you want to just a moment, you want to see applicants who, okay, so this one allows you to see how the admissions are going. Okay, I think I'm getting an error there, something we need to look at. But it will show you basically on the people who have applied, in this maybe primary shares diploma program. So it will show you their names and NRC, and to be ask you what action you want to do. You want to approve them for studies at the institution or not. So it just lists those people who have applied to come and study at the institution. Then there's also an application form. This one basically is what those want to apply online come and actually enter details, and when they enter those details, they submit, and the account will appear on list applicants, so the director will be able to see how the admissions department is in charge of that. So basically, the students are required to enter as many information as possible, and these are part of the biodata that will be stored onto the system. Then print offer letter, so you can have a student, you can print an offer letter to a particular student, and that is okay. Okay, but basically this feature allows you to print an offer letter to a student or to a set of students who have been successfully, like for the list of applicants, those who have been selected. You want to print letters to each of those students. So the system can generate offer letters that could be printed and actually be sent to those students who applied. Then custom reports also allows you to have a look on how you're doing in terms of admissions. You can print all these types of reports for selected candidates in this particular program, and just gives the director a general picture or a general feel on how admissions as well is doing. Then my account here basically allows the director to manage their account which they have logged in at the moment. So if you want to change your login ID, this is where you do it from. If you want to change your name, maybe you want it to be director, maybe you want it to be your name there, this is where again you come to change. You can change your password, you can change and everything, then you update. Once that is done, then the system automatically changes makes all those changes. So basically this is how the director will go about his business process on the system. Thank you for watching. See you next time.